Yo, you guys have been asking to see my settings, so let's give you guys a quick rundown on what settings I use in Dunk Dynasty. Joystick type, just keep that on free, you'll thank me later. No vibrations, that's a distraction. Icon pass is something you should definitely have on instead of just having your pass be generated to like a general area that your character is looking. Instead, you have the numbers, so you can just press the number correlating to the person you want to pass to. Nothing worse than wanting to pass to someone on the 3-point line or in the paint and it goes across the map to someone you didn't even want to pass to, but instead you now just threw that possession because they can easily steal it as it's a long-range pass. Auto defense is great to have on when you're a learning player, when you're just starting out, but if you want to go into ranked and stuff, you're going to be turning that off. You're not going to be using that inside of ranked. It's just more of a thing you use as you are learning. So I play with it off personally. I don't customize any of the control layouts. I think it's set up very nicely. If you're playing on controller or keyboard and mouse, you definitely may want to do that. But for me, as a touch player, I'm not doing that. For newer players or people that don't know exactly a player's path range and stuff like that for their different abilities, I would just keep skill auto pathing on. That essentially just makes it so it'll bring you to the area when you click it. You can either change it to tap or hold. I just have it on tap. If I'm doing 11s on some character, pushing up the trophies I don't normally use, I will definitely use skill auto pathing. Pump fake upon catch is some very nice tech. That is some very nice tech, making it so when you get passed to, you can do a pump fake. A lot of players have a pump fake buff, so it'll basically buff you when you pump fake. Curry, for example, gives you a speed buff when you do a pump fake. So you always want to be pump faking on that first catch, so then you have that speed boost to help generate speed and get you that range you're looking for, break you apart for those 3-pointers.
Drop a like, boys.
Joystick orientation sounds like it would be cool. Definitely do not change this. Default is your best option. Relative to the rim will just confuse you and make your movement very odd, especially when you go into the corners. Just keep this on default. I don't know about absolute, but I wouldn't even try it out. I seen what relative to the rim did, and I was like, nah, dude, we're not doing that. We're keeping this on default all day. For the Dynasty settings down here, these are pretty like negligible. Like these don't really matter to me, but they may matter to you if you're a big time Dynasty player. Personally, I just have my AI do it and I'll do my dailies. I don't really care if I win or lose in Dynasty. I wasn't really trying to push too hard in that. I just didn't really find it as fun. I'd rather have like I play one person and then you play with your teammates and they all play one person. I find that way more fun than playing Dynasty. But if you're a solo player, Dynasty is definitely something you should be looking at. And these settings here you want to have on. Auto switch is just going to make it so you'll instantly switch to a player when you get the ball. So if you just pass to them, you'll just instantly get swapped to them. I personally have them off because I don't really care too much for it. For my camera views, I run close in non-Dynasty. And then in Dynasty, I did try out like full court, top down, that kind of stuff. But I mean, I just found close being the best camera option to me, in my opinion. That's the one that I like. That's what I run in my videos. So if you guys like that too, just put your camera view settings to close.
Crispy clean angles.
Ultimate close-up is not very good in my opinion if you have like a Zion and you're doing a dunk animation, just because it makes it so it's very hard to tell if you're about to get blocked or not. So from my experience, I would just turn that off, and then you have a little bit longer range of view and you can kind of see better, you know, if you're gonna get blocked, and you can call it like, yo, I'm about to get blocked or whatever, so the team knows that's no good, that was a bad play, and we can quickly recover, get that rebound. The dunk zoom and the long range loose ball camera, like it just zooms in basically a little bit on that area. So I run those, helps a little bit, nothing crazy. Game tips just lets you know if you switch to defense or offense. Like if, let's say you lost your possession because you shot, they got the rebound. Now you know that you're going to be on defense, and it'll pop up with that red line you know, around your screen showing, you know, the enemies now have the ball, they're looking to clear the zone and start on offense. So I would definitely keep that on. If you're really experienced and you find that distracting, you can turn that off, but personally I play with it on. Opponent pass call bubble, I would definitely have on. It's just free information letting you know, like maybe that player's open, that's why they're calling for a pass, or they think they're about a cookie, or they have an alt or something. It just lets you know where the ball may be going, where they may be passing to. So definitely keep that on. Emote, I mean, it's just cool to see, so I keep that above head. Player info display, I keep it on player name. The reason why I don't run nickname is just because sometimes with cosmetics and stuff, it can be hard to tell like which character it is. So it is kind of nice just to have it right below them, say like it's a Kaminga or it's Ghazal or, you know, etc, etc. Always show player info. Yeah, this could definitely be on. I could, you know, see why you'd want it on or off. It doesn't really make a huge difference to me. Instead of it just showing like when a player gets passed to, it'll be like Kuminga. It'll always show Kuminga under their feet, so then you always know it's Kuminga. I should probably turn it on. I just didn't really care to, and I just kept it off, and I just called it good. For court, just keep this on simple court off, and distance lines 100% should be on. That's some secret tech. You definitely want distance lines on. That helps out a lot to gauge distance, especially if you're on a character that has layup ranges and stuff. You can easily tell if like a shot's gonna be a mid-range, or if it's gonna turn into a layup, or if it's even gonna turn into a dunk. So I would definitely have those on.
That setting will definitely help you a lot, so have on distance lines. You'll thank me later if you don't already. Spectating is doesn't really matter that much. I mean, I spectate quite a bit. These are all just user preference, so I won't really cover these. If you really don't like cosmetics, you can also change to hide your own costume and other players' costumes. I personally don't do this. I think costumes are really cool, and I do like to see what the other people are wearing and rocking. If I'm charging my phone and stuff, I'll run a bit lower settings, but if I'm not charging my phone, I'm just playing, I'll definitely play on ultra. For sounds, you want your mic volume and the player's mic volume to be down a little bit, or also to do mic maxing nonstop. So definitely turn that down a little bit, and just turn the device volume up, like on your phone or your headphones or whatever. Next up, one of the most important settings here, we have the contested area display, contested layup area, opponent grayed out. Definitely want your opponent's grayed out. You definitely want to see the contested layup area display, so then you can see if it's contested. I personally like man-to-man for contested area display opposed to handler. I find handler can be a bit confusing, so if you just do man-to-man, you know exactly who you should be guarding, and if you're not guarding him, you'll quickly and easily be able to tell, whereas handler can be a bit confusing on who you should be guarding because it's switching nonstop.